it going?
Yeah.
Oh. Hi, this is Brennan,
And LiLing.
and we're the founders of Trekaroo, a family travel website.
So we've been talking a lot in our family, and we wanted to bring you guys in on the conversation that we've been having, because I don't think we are alone. It feels like we're completely surrounded by tragedy at every front these past few weeks. With the hurricanes that have been devastating so many towns and Puerto Rico, and earthquakes in Guatemala, and now these huge fires that have been burning up here in California and earlier this summer in Oregon. And it just seems like there's a lot of tragedy, don't you think, Brennan?
Indeed, and sometimes it can feel overwhelming. So that's what we were talking about today, how we as individuals can feel overwhelmed, and how our kids especially can feel overwhelmed. And it's tough to know how to respond to these things.
Yeah, it just feels like just as you're thinking of, helping with one thing, like there's another thing. And how can all of these little things that we might have in our minds that we want to do possibly make a difference? I think so I've just been feeling super discouraged and just sad and out of control, like kind of hopeless. How have you been feeling, Brennan?
Similar, it goes in waves. I think one thing we can do is we can take actions. If we can try to do one thing each day, or one thing every couple days that makes a difference, all those different small little things, if everyone's doing that, make a difference.
Mm-hmm. Have you been surprised about how our children have responded to what's going on?
Yeah, a little bit. I feel like as adults we have a number of years behind us, some of us more than others, and we see that, oh well, this isn't really normal, that there's so many things going on at once, at least in our lifetimes. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure that our kids see the same thing.
Yeah. We just got back from this 6-month trip when we were in Guatemala, and we were serving with some pretty poor communities there. And one of our hopes was that our kids would kind of grow a heart of compassion and feel like they can actually take action, and kind of develop sort of that worldview about it, which is a big reason why traveling is so important to us as a family. And then we came back, and pretty much right from the start when we got back, there was just one tragedy after another, both among our personal friends, as well as with our nation and then the world. And I feel like the kids keep hearing us talk about it. In our family, we're pretty open about what's going on in the world. We do not really want to shelter our kids from it, but I've been kind of surprised at how they sort of hear it, and then like there's a part of them that maybe has a flicker of emotion that they want to do something, and then they kind of go on with their daily lives. What do you think's going on there for the kids?
I think as so many things pile up, it's difficult. It's just that feeling like you can't really make a difference. So that's why I think it's really important to pick one thing, to find your local community center, to find your cause to donate to, and just do one thing.
Yeah, I think this feeling of being overwhelmed is really almost leads us into paralysis. Like I know, I care about a lot of these things, but I feel so overwhelmed that I'm paralyzed. Like I don't even know where to put my efforts in. And so, I had this idea early on this morning about how sometimes when we feel alone, like our drop is one drop in the bucket that's evaporating even as it's falling into the bucket. That it almost feels like, why act? Because maybe it's like my effort isn't really worth it. Like I have needs to people in my community. It's almost like my world starts to close in on me. I almost want to cloister myself. And then I was thinking about how really there are so many other people taking action. And if we all take little actions, just one thing that's attainable, like for example, last night I kind of pushed myself out of my paralysis, and I said to the kids, like, okay, let's just go through our closets and our dressers. Let's find clothes that still are in good condition that we can share with somebody else. And it's such a simple action. It could even be an action of like, today I'm going to post something on Facebook or social media that helps other people know what actions they can take. Like if we all took one action a day, and we all could see each other taking those actions, like I think that it could be really powerful. Like we wouldn't feel like we were alone in that, right? Like we weren't just one drop in the bucket. We were part of this huge wave of positive response to the tragedies around us. Like, what do you think of that, Brennan?
Yeah, I think that's amazing. It kind of reminds me of doing the wave at a football game or something. It's like, you know, one person doing it, it's kind of ridiculous. You're
And
like,
lame.
what is that person doing? But you get the entire stadium doing it, and it's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah.
So, Brennan, what do we want our friends to join us in doing?
Well, we would like you to take action and to do one thing. There's been so much craziness in the world with the hurricanes and the earthquakes and the fires and the shootings and wars elsewhere, that we would like you to take action.
Yeah, and you know, we don't want any of us to feel alone in what we're doing, and we were thinking that if you take a picture of what you are doing, that one little thing your family is doing, and not to boast, but to post it on social media so that we all feel like we are part of a much bigger wave of positive goodness that's going out into the world to counteract all the negative, bad stuff that's happening. We don't want anyone to feel alone. We want to feel like we are actually part of this bigger movement. So yeah, take pictures, take little videos, hashtag do one thing as you post it on social media.